CBSSports.com. Don't just buy tickets, invest in memories. And by Cedar Lake Sales, your family-owned, experienced, award-winning full-service marine dealer, conveniently located on Highway 33 in West Bend. Cedar Lake Sales, fun on the water since 1969. I'm Lana, that's 102.9 Road Dog Traffic.
And now, CBS 58 Sports Director, Kevin Holden.
What's great about today is we are also running on Facebook Live on the Hogs Facebook page, which we like to do from time to time. And you can see Kevin's reaction to his intro. It's no joke when we describe it to you. He does get pumped and is ready to go.
Loves it.
He's ready to play. He's ready to suit up and play in Super Bowl 58.
Just waiting for a Kevin Holden shaped hole in the wall after that.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think Dancing Bobby B would be fine with that.
Yeah. If it's you, Kevin, that's fine.
Yeah, Kevin did it.
Thanks for stopping in, Kevin. It seems like it's great. We always talk to you with breaking news, NBA trade deadline. Let's start there with some fun stuff. And the Bucks getting a player in Patrick Beverley.
Well, I told him, I said, look, I'm going on the Hog today, so let's save the big moment for now. So they did.
That was so nice of them.
That's great of them.
Yeah.
We thank them for that. Yeah.
Bucks got Beverly, and life is good. I know what I think. It's a really good deal. I mean, the Bucks had to. I think they did have to change some things. I still don't know if changing the head coach was necessary. But
I don't think we've spoke to you since then.
What do you think about that, Kevy?
What insanity that is. But Adrian Griffin was a first-time head coach. The team that they brought him in to lead defensively was not the same team that he got because they traded for Lillard. So they bring him in for this group and then they change the group, right? So sometimes the thing that looked like it would be a fit didn't become a fit. It changed, right? So I could see that being part of it, but I'm still shocked. 30-13, one of the best records.
Firing a coach at that,
right?
Right.
And then Doc Rivers comes and they didn't win.
1-4. But they also...
it's all a work in progress, right?
It's a 5-game road trip on all these tough stops. It's like, welcome in, coach.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can go win on back-to-back nights in Dallas and Utah. It's like, that's tough for anybody.
But Patrick Beverley, though, player that seems like they need, a guy that can play defense. They need help defensively. And to me, he's always one of those guys you need in the playoffs that are pain-in-the-ass guys to the other team. And he is that guy that the other team and the opposing team fan base will hate in the playoffs, which is what you want.
So when this happened, the first thing is we look for video for CBS 58. The first thing we have to find file video. So there's this system that goes back like 10 years, national system, CBS, that we can tap into. And Scott starts laughing. Scott Grotsky, who's doing the hits from Fiserv Forum, starts laughing and he goes, I got a problem. Like, what's going on? And he said, Patrick Beverley's in here 20 times, but it's agonizing a referee, agonizing a teammate, agonizing someone else. You know what I mean? Celebrating excessively with his mom after they won a game. Like,
he loves his mom. Come on.
There's nothing wrong with that. Let's go with that one. Did you go with that one?
Yeah.
He's a beast on the court and loves his mom afterwards.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We picked that.
What about the beef between him and Dame, which I didn't really know about? I just was reading about as this trade news was breaking that he said that they've got some smoothing out to do down with their teammates.
They're purposely bringing on a guy that doesn't get okay.
But he doesn't get along with a lot of people in the league. But that's what you want anyway, right?
You saw the celebration. It was this year. It was a celebration where they won a game, and Beverly looked at his watch and acted as if his watch was broken. He was like, "Oh, game time is broken."
Sick burn,
brah.
Now they're teammates,
right?
Which is going to be fine. And the first thing, he had a podcast today. Beverly did. And whoever was with him, he got the call in the middle of the podcast saying,
and he took the call.
Yeah, like while the podcast is rolling,
great.
he gets the call. And it's a great reaction because he can help the Bucks a ton. But he hangs the phone up and he goes, I got to get my relationship right with Dame.
See, step one.
First words.
Right? Maybe drop him a text. Hey, bro, when can you chat?
Whoops, the daisy.
Can we talk? Question mark.
Did he know that this trade was on the table?
You'd have to, I would think.
I don't know.
And the thing about Beverly is he's bounced around so much. I mean, trade deadline, he's no stranger to being dealt during a season. So, I would have to think he knew that this was a possibility. Interest. Yeah, I would think. It's a good trade.
Do you have expectation? I know they play tonight. Obviously, he won't be there tonight. Expectation of when he'll get here and how soon he'll suit up?
Tomorrow.
I think the podcast said it was a 9 p.m. flight. So, I'm thinking, is the game after this Denver? Not tonight, but the next one up.
I don't know. I know they play Minnesota tonight. I'm not sure who the next one is.
It's Denver. So I think he's here for the next game.
That'd be good. That'd be fun to get him in there. So that's exciting and should help again down the stretch. And I think they got time, Kev, right, to figure it out. Use these remaining 30-some games, whatever it is, and just get right for the playoffs. We saw last year they won a ton of regular season games. Doesn't matter when you get in the postseason. So just how you playing when you get to the playoffs.
All you have to do is it's the same principle. When we play fantasy sports, I always go by the same thing. Is people get their fantasy teams and they freak out, and I say, look, there's only two things you have to do: get in to the playoffs and then get hot. That's it.
Yeah.
The Bucks, when they won the championship a couple of years ago, were not the number one seed. They came in and had to do some work against. They beat a 2 seed and then. Obviously won, in the finals against the Suns, but, just get in. And if you're playing your best basketball in April, who cares about February? No one will remember that by then,
I'm still thinking about how is he going to smooth the waters over with Dame? Does he give him an edible arrangement? Does he maybe present him with a watch and be like, oh, no, Dame time's right on time?
That's not not a bad idea. Here's a nice watch.
What does he do
the GPS
to
time?
Smooth it over? I think this is a good opportunity for him to do something kind of whimsical.
An edible arrangement is my favorite. Wow.
Depends what kind of edible you're talking. When you say edible, that could be a number of different things, Mandy, if we don't know, right?
Game time equals title time is the card in this edible arrangement.
Yeah. Look at that.
We figured it out.
Sharing chocolate-covered cherries in the locker room.
Feeding them to each other.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They're professionals. They'll move past that, and they'll play, and they'll be all good. All right, more with CBS 58 Sports Director Kevin Holden. Let's talk about the Super Bowl next on your network. That's exciting. It's 102.9 The Hog.
Afternoons with Borna and Mandy on Milwaukee's 102.9 The Hog.
Speaking with CBS 58 Sports Director Kevin Holden, the Super Bowl on CBS 58 here this Sunday. And Kevin, I know you've covered the Super Bowl. I have some questions about that, but let's say the Packers had made the Super Bowl this year. As the network that is then carrying the game, an affiliate that we're carrying the game, are there any extra perks with your media pass? Any different access that you get via the network, the national network?
Snacks or something?
Oh, yeah, a
These are
spread.
CBS snacks.
You get would you have some Tony Romo time if you wanted to? I don't know if that's something you want.
That's actually the biggest thing that happens because you see all the big things that go around the Super Bowl, the media night, and all that hype. There is a whole thing about that just for the broadcast crew. They have a whole thing in a hotel, in a convention area, in a hotel. And all of the people involved in the CBS broadcast, behind the scenes and in front of the camera, are available to speak. And so Romo would be perfect, right? And you could get him in a situation where it's just me and him. And that's great. In other words, we'd talk about Burlington, Wisconsin all day.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot of fun. That's one. I don't know if there's a whole lot else. Maybe
no extra little trinkets or anything.
An extra seat.
Because
an extra seat.
Put your jacket down next to you.
So bad.
Yeah.
The seating situation in the Super Bowl, because 5 million people want to go.
Yeah.
Right. Media wise, and so. Everything changes.
What is it like, though? What is the seating? I've never been to a Super Bowl. I don't know that I'll ever get to go to a Super Bowl. So what is the seating situation like?
Well, let's do it this way. Let's say the Super Bowl was at Lambeau Field.
Okay.
And normally that giant press box that I don't know if you've seen pictures, but it covers up 40 yards of territory on one side. All of a sudden, that press box is for the national folks, ESPN and the broadcasters of the game. So if you are a local media member covering the game, you're probably going to be sitting in section 630.
So it'll give you an actual seat in the stadium, so you don't get no press box or anything like that. I've heard that.
I've covered 4 Super Bowls and not sat in the actual press box for one of them. I've been outside for all 4.
So is it, let's say, if you wanted to cover it, could you, as being an affiliate here in Milwaukee, get at least a media credential? If you wanted every Super Bowl you want to go to, if you wanted to go,
you could do
get
it.
one. You just would have a seat in 300 section,
right? Yeah, and so and you go down the line. In other words, you tell the NFL, even if the Packers don't make it, we want to go. We want to send 6 people. And the NFL comes back and says, no, you're going to get 3. Mm-hmm. And so you'll get a seat maybe inside the stadium or 2, and then the others will sit under this tent, which is actually not even in the stadium.
Cover the game, not even in the stadium.
Yeah.
Watch it on TV like the rest of us.
Classic Super Bowl.
That's great.
It's, because the rush of it, if you made it open for all the media, you could probably fill, I would think, a fourth of the stadium or close to it with all the media. It's crazy.
What are some of the fun things then in covering a Super Bowl? Or things that maybe we'd be surprised to learn or know?
Radio Row is the best thing that happens in a Super Bowl. I think anybody that gets a chance, that's what you got to do. Because Radio Row is literally broadcasters of every kind, TV too, and they're in there and guests stroll through, and they're guests of all kinds. So if you just walk into Radio Row and just plant a camera and just look around, we've gotten Brett Favre one-on-one that way. We've gotten Donovan McNabb one-on-one that way. We got Greg Jennings to imitate the guy saying, Greg Jennings. Like, it's that much
That's fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
And other folks too, national celebrities. It's just, they're everywhere. It's not like you got to plan it. You just stand there and they walk to you.
Yeah.
Josh Duhamel and I had a great conversation one year.
Really?
He's a Vikings guy, but he told me, he said, I'm from North Dakota, but I doubt my Vikings sometimes, he said in this whole interview that we did, because he found out we were from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But that's what, it's just crazy. It is
That's fun.
nonstop.
I'm sure Vegas, it's even tenfold this week just because.
Oh, man, it's going to be crazy there.
On a normal weekend in Las Vegas, you'll run into people just in different casinos and hotel lobbies or whatnot.
Yeah.
Now with the Super Bowl, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, as long as you know, it's the closest to TMZ, because as long as you know who these people are, who these celebs are, they're just walking by you and you're like, hey, Favre, you got him. Well, Favre wasn't quite that easy. Favre had a handler.
Of course, they all do.
Yeah, but we got him. That was Super Bowl 50.
I know you're a big guy commenting on the various spreads of various stadiums for the media buffets and whatnot. In the Super Bowl, even if you're outside in the tent, do you get a snack at all? Is there a place that you can get some food and stuff?
Yeah.
And how are the Super Bowl spreads for just common media?
It's like a boxed. I remember it's just a boxed lunch or boxed dinner.
Oh, it's kind of like we do at the Bob and Brian Open.
Yeah.
It's boxed lunch.
Well, ham sandwich, chips, and all the soda that you want, and there's candy everywhere. It's fine. It's nothing gourmet, but I've never eaten a meal at a Super Bowl and gone, well, that was just awful.
I'm surprised it's not like wings and chips and dip and, like Super Bowl-y foods, like football foods.
Maybe in the real press box. That's still one thing I want to do.
One day, Kev, you'll get there.
One day, yeah.
4 of these, we were talking about this earlier. I was in the building Super Bowl 38 in Houston when the wardrobe malfunction happened.
So that was
Jackson.
20 years ago. That's the 20th anniversary of that.
Ago.
So 20 years ago of that.
Is it?
Yeah, that was 20 years. 20 years ago. So you were there. That was the Patriots-Carolina Super Bowl, if I remember. That was a good game, if I remember it.
So we could tell stories for hours, but I'll tell you my 2 favorites. One, immediately after it happened, there was a streaker, and no one on earth remembers that.
I don't even remember that.
Like 8 seconds after it happened. Not a lie. Like the lights come up, and there's a guy streaking, and that dude picked the worst time on earth.
Sure.
Zero recognition.
No one's going to remember that.
Nobody
one
cares. Nobody remembers.
Streaker. I also got my very first text message like a minute or two after. I wasn't even aware of the concept. This is 20 years ago. And my phone says to me, did you see that? And I thought I was in like a horror movie. Like, why is my phone saying words to me? And it was somebody at work. It texted me, did you see that?
You never had a text message?
No,
until you were covering the Super Bowl?
20 years ago?
But that's like a fun time to get your. I don't remember my first text message. I couldn't tell you when that was.
See, I remember I thought they charged a ton for text messaging, so I didn't do it.
After 9, it's free, right?
So right. And then when I got a first one, because I was at a friend that was way ahead of the curve with phones, was then texting. I'm like, I don't want any of these.
Stop sending it to me. It
am I getting charged 30 cents for each one of these?
Right.
Yeah. I don't want these. So
right.
how do you turn this off?
Kev, let me ask you then, since you were there witnessing it, was it planned or no? Was it actually a wardrobe malfunction?
You got to understand, again, we're in section way up.
Sure.
To me, my eyes told me that he scratched her on the shoulder. In person, it looked like he scratched her. She's like, hey, like she kind of goes, inward as if he had scratched her on the shoulder. Mm-hmm. And it just, wow, that is an amazing moment to have spontaneously developed. Sure. ... Right?
Okay.
I have no knowledge, but sure seems weird.
I agree.
Kev, who do you like? Let's get your prediction for the game this Sunday. Chiefs have been underdogs for 2 straight games. 3rd straight game, they're underdogs. Do they do it again and go back to back?
Leader in yards before contact this year for a running back is Christian McCaffrey. Leader in yards after contact for a running back is Christian McCaffrey. And I think at this point in the season, I can't go against it. I know Mahomes has had a great track record, but this is when the best player in the NFL leads a team to a championship.
Okay. I was reading something today that there was this guy who has incorrectly picked the Super Bowl champ for 16 years straight.
No way.
and he has picked the Chiefs, which would mean you are correct.
I'll take that. That's
Right.
Are you going Chiefs or Niners? I'm sorry.
I'm going Niners.
You're going Niners with McCaffrey. Okay.
Yeah. So if
yeah.
he goes Chiefs, I feel better about that.
I'm going Chiefs because I bet against them the last two. I said, screw it. I'm not going to do it this time, but they'll probably lose then.
We'll see.
But we'll see how it goes. Before we let you go, Kevin, our marketing director and producer for today, Mustache Pat, who's running the video
You're doing a
Facebook
great
Live. Thank
job.
you, Pat.
Hey,
has a question for you, Kevin. Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so as I was getting everything squared away for the live stream here, I was looking up your Facebook profile, getting you tagged and all that. And I noticed your profile photo is the Pop-Tart mascot from the Pop-Tart Bowl. Is that a creative decision or what's the story behind that? Are you the actual mascot? Is that breaking news? You're the one who's been behind all the antics?
Get the mascot out of the trunk. Let's go.
And that was so good that it literally turned I'm a skeptic about that sort of thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a bowl game. You don't need to be the Pop-Tart Bowl. And then I watched this Pop-Tart go in and out and get eaten, and I'm like, okay, that was wonderful. Because I've been a fan of Pop-Tarts pretty much my whole life. And so, yeah, I'm like, it's great. Honestly, the real reason it's there, I play Monopoly Go on an app, and you can attack other people's stuff in the game. I don't know if you've played it, but the point is that somebody sees like, oh, someone's attacking your landmark, and this giant Pop-Tart pops up.
Okay.
That's why.
All right. I like it.
Kevin, we appreciate the time. As always, we're watching CBS 58. And, of course, the Super Bowl on Sunday. Niners Chiefs.
Can't wait.
We'll talk soon, Kevin.
Sounds good. Thanks.
It's 102.9 The Hog.